네, 한미동맹협의회 3대 총재 조현식입니다. 오늘 저희 샌디에고, 오렌지 카운티, 리버사이드, 그리고 LA 카운티, 그다음에 샌버나디노 카운티 5개 카운티에서 한 80여 명의 학생들과 학부형들이 모여서 사이버 크라임 그리고 현재 벌어지고 있는 불링 여러 가지 이슈를 가지고 우리 한미동맹협의회 2세, 3세 분들과 함께 여기 LA, 로스앤젤레스 폴리스 디파트먼트 올림픽 지부에서 오늘 행사를 가졌습니다. 한미동맹협의회가 꼭 우리 로컬 커뮤니티에서 함께 같이 가는 취지로 오늘 이러한 자리를 만들게 되었고, 오늘 참석해 주신 많은 학생들과 학부형들께서 많은 성원과 후원을 해 주셔서 성공적인 오늘 모임을 갖게 되었습니다.
오늘 이렇게 학생들이 많이 참석해 갖고 참 보람이 있고요. 학생들도 강의대에서 관심도 있고 파티시페이션도 참 좋기 때문에 이런 세미나 같은 거는 앞으로 더 우리 한인 커뮤니티에서 계속 하고, 그다음에 학생들도 배워갖고 다른 그 친구들한테 이 인포메이션을 쉐어하고 그러면은 참 좋은 것 같아요.
아이고, 아주 제가 듣기에도 굉장히 좋은 강의를 하셨는데, 학부형들에게도 하고 싶은 말씀 있으세요?
네, 계속 이렇게 저희들 우리 협회나 아니면은 US Korean Alliance 계속 앞으로도 다른 행사 같은 거 같이 하고, 부모님들도 학생들하고 같이 이렇게 와서 강의를 들고 그러니까 참 보기가 좋은 것 같아요.
지금 올림픽 경찰서에 계시죠?
네네, 여기 올림픽 벤팍입니다. 네.
감사합니다.
네, 감사합니다.
I think a lot of what he was saying was very important, and I think a lot of what he's saying is really important for a lot of people to hear. And it's really good to see that this information is being given to all youths, and I think that's very good to see that. My name is Cole Stevenson, and I'm from San Diego, California.
제 이름은 김티파니라고 합니다. 그리고 토렌스 LA 카운티에 왔습니다.
오늘 수업 이 강의는 어떠했고 많은 걸 어떻게 배우셨습니까?
이 수업 통해서 세이프티하고 더 조심스럽게 하는 것을 배웠습니다.
My name is Max, and I'm 7. San Diego, in California.
Which city?
San
Diego.
Basically, Taekwondo is a program, and it's kind of like a sport, and I really love it a lot. Now I think I'm about to turn into a brown belt. Now.
Today is the question and answer or the lecture. Does it help?
Yeah, it helps a lot, and I learned a bunch of new moves.
Thank you. Good to hear about it. Thank you so much for coming. Okay.
You're welcome.
Okay.
No matter what you think you want to be in life right now, good for you. If 10, 20 years down the road you're doing exactly what you set out to do, but chances are you'll be doing something very different. My career path when I went to school, I always thought I would be a lawyer. Okay, I did not become a lawyer. I went into government. So you never know. Internet, I'm actually applying for a special unit right now. And then one of the things they wanted was all my social network accounts, because they want to know exactly what I put there. That's why I've had Facebook for close to 20 years. I have never ever liked or even put anything remotely close to politics, because I do not want this to kind of come back to me. Okay? I know none of you do it, but please, please, please do not share photos of you in compromising situations. I don't care who tells you, boyfriend, girlfriend, it's like, oh, I'm going to, okay, send me a photo of you blowing a kiss. I'm going to delete it, right away. I promise you. I swear to God, I'm going to delete it. Guess what? They won't. Especially guys, if they get a naked photo of their girlfriends, I guarantee you they're gonna share it with all their friends. Okay, even if they swear to God that they won't do it. So those of you females, do not. Even if they tell you how beautiful you are, and they'll delete it, or no, don't ever, ever, ever share photos of you in a compromising situation. Okay? Yes? No?
Yes.
Okay. I don't give a shit? Some of you, I'm pretty sure you're thinking that way. It's like, oh, why am I here? Like, I don't know why you're here, but you're here, so make the best of it. Okay, this is actually, I have a separate presentation, but this is very generic from Homeland Security, the federal government. This is a little bit old, but 83% of internet usage 18 to 29 is supposed to have a social media. The reason I asked how many of you have it is because it's about 100%. And once again, everybody's looking. Even if you think that, even if you have 5 friends, I guarantee you there are outside people looking at your account. How many of you get weird texts that say hi, you know, on your phone? A lot, right? Don't respond to those. They're phishing. I get photos of very good-looking friends, I mean girls, I don't know why, and then they're like, hi, you know, do you remember me? I don't even, I just delete. You see, I'm being recorded right now. I have to be very careful what I'm saying. When you set up your internet accounts on everything, do it as generic. Do not put birthday. Do not put what is that site where they send you all the sort of quizzes? Yeah, you know how they share quizzes?
Quizlet?
Yeah, not that one. It's sort of like Reddit. You know how you get those sites where it says, see how much you know, and then you respond, it's like, what's your favorite color? Do you like this? Do you like all that? Don't do those, because there's an algorithm out there that will track your responses, and then guess what? When you're doing your security settings, and they ask you what high school you went to, what's your favorite color, what's the name of your pet, all that, those are security questions. They want to know who you are. So why are you sharing your personal information with this website that is tracking your information? So don't do it. Did you know that even if you put your phones on airplane mode, it still tracks you, your location? Okay. So don't put your personal information, your birthday, your color, your high school, and then this is the best one. Of course, we'd like to show off that we're going on vacation to Paris, and people are like, oh, you know, I'm boarding the flight right now, and then we're going to Paris for 2 weeks. What are you telling the burglars? Oh, great, they won't be there 2 weeks. And then they come back and it's like, oh crap, we got burglarized. I wonder why. Because they share on social media that they'll come for 2 weeks. Okay? And you may say, nobody's that stupid. You're not being stupid, you're just trying to share on social media that, of the things that you're doing. I do post about where I go, but after I come back. Okay? And it's perfectly fine to do that. And I don't put that much, I still just, but you know, if you're going to do that, be mindful of those things, okay? You may think, who's going to break into my account? Okay, so when it comes to passwords, I'm pretty sure the younger people know this, and then you guys do a very good job at setting up passwords. Do not use the same one for everything. For adults, okay? And make sure that you change it as much as you can. Your online profile, don't, clean it up. Most of you probably do not know that you can set your privacy settings for any of your social media. Do not make it public, ever. Always go to a friend only. Because only people that you friend, they can see it. Okay, not anybody else. Be careful who you connect with, because a lot of them are fake accounts. I know this because my youngest daughter used to do it. It's like, oh, somebody famous wanted to friend me. It's like, I guarantee you that person is not who it says it is. It's not Taylor Swift directly, wanting to friend you. And it's like, oh my God, Taylor Swift. And it's like, no, it's not. Okay? So things like that. Even friends, they may not be. I got hacked. My original Facebook account, I can no longer use it because I got hacked. So I had to discontinue it. I had photos and everything for like 15 years, and then I'm no longer able to use it. Now, this is another problem we have with young people. All of you are tracking how many likes you get when you post something. I do it too, okay? Those likes does not change your life or does not dictate how popular or unpopular you are, okay? Not only that, you post something and then everybody is commenting negatively. You're ugly, you're stupid, it's like, what do you care? Okay, so if you're going to post something, just do it for fun. Do not do it for you to kind of depend that your social life or who you are as an individual depends on the amount of likes that you get or who is looking at your profile. Once you become a victim of identity theft as a young person, just know that that's going to follow you for a long time. And it's going to be very difficult for you to kind of get good credit and all that, because they're going to apply to all kinds of stupid things with your name and with your information. And then to clean that up is going to be very difficult. So you do have to kind of take measures as a young individual so you don't get affected later on as an adult, okay? I mean, this all kind of same thing that I'm telling you. Now, when it comes to cyberbullying, I hope none of you actually do it. Would you? No, that's not a good question. How easy is it for you to be a mean person online?
Super easy.
Super easy. You don't have to raise your hand, but how many of you have actually commented negatively to somebody because you thought it was funny? Probably most of us, right? How many of you have been the receiving end of cyberbullying or something negative? Probably a lot. This is very predominant in the Korean society in Korea, and a lot of these famous people, some of them even end up committing suicide because of cyberbullying. If you know somebody who is being cyberbullied or being attacked online, talk to that individual, seek the help of adults. And cyberbullying is very complicated, at the same time very easy. If you turn it off, it's no longer there. But people continue to go on it and then keep on checking all the mean things that are being said about it. Earlier, I told you about naked pictures or compromising pictures. There's been cases where they'll take your face, put somebody else's body, and then kind of say, oh, this is so-and-so, and then she sent me a picture of her naked. And when things like that happens, you do have to tell the adults, because we can actually find who sent it or the origin of it. By the way, unless you're super brainiac, with the IP address, I can tell you exactly where it was sent. So if you think it's funny that because you wanted to miss the test and then say, hey, I'm gonna say that I put a bomb in school, but they're not gonna know because I put my friend's name, you know, instead of my own name. You'll have the exact IP address of the of your home address, and then police are gonna come knock and then arrest you for sending threats and all that. So don't do things like that. When it comes to cyberbullying, it can be tracked, so we can always find out who did it, so we can take proper measures. Okay, so always report it. If that person says, if you don't send me another photo, I am actually going to share it with everybody, and there are people who they're afraid that mom and dad are going to find out and then they send another photo. Don't do that. Okay? Know that your parents or an adult can take care of this a lot better than that you can. Not only that, because you have a friend who knows about this, can help you. Two individuals who are minors cannot do a better job than an adult can in resolving these issues. Not only that, most of you are over 12, 13, 14 years old. Okay? You are at an age when now you can start thinking like an adult and take responsibility for your actions. Anybody after 15 years old, I don't think you have an excuse to say, I didn't know any better. Because most of you now at 13, 14, 15 think that you're smarter than your parents and that you know more than your parents, right? Because you're better at computer, you're better at language. Oh my God, you know, my dad doesn't even know how to speak English. It's like, but they still know a lot more than you do, okay? So any questions about internet security? Yes?
So about the password, you know, some, like the phones recommend, like, do you want to save password for this website, or you want to save for your Instagram login or Facebook login? So we should not be saving those passwords on the phone.
If you have a password on your computer when you're logging in at the very beginning, or it's a biometric where you do your finger or your face recognition, they're okay. Because the device itself is protected, okay? But if it's asking you from the website, should I save this? But your computer in itself can be accessed by anybody, then of course it's not safe. So that if the device itself is good, then it's okay. On your cell phone, nowadays, the apps are asking for biometrics too. Whether it's your face recognition or a thumb or the code. Because what these thieves are doing, they will come, they'll steal your phone, and then they'll do a thumbprint or a face, and then all your apps are accessible. So do, even my notes, I have it on biometrics where it needs my facial recognition to open my notes. Okay, so those kind of measures, don't keep anything like super important on the phone, because if they open it, then they'll have access to everything. Thank you for that question. Actually, I'm going to give you something for doing a good job.
Whoa.
Anyone else?
Question.
Anyone else? Any other question?
Can I have one more?
No. Why?
So for the, it's not like,
I'm not going to give you another one.
yeah,
But still out.
it's not like just password. I'm just like about like credit card stealing, or like, so let's say you go get gas, right? Because I got my credit card information stolen at the gas station before. And how do you prevent those things happening?
Good question. So a lot of times they will put fake readers on front of it. So in order to avoid that, you can tap. That's one way of preventing. And the other one, you can go inside and pay for it instead of kind of doing it right there. Because sometimes they're really good. You know, like me and my wife, we lock our ATMs. The ATM, even if it gets stolen, they cannot, even if they have the password, it cannot be used. Anytime we use it on our app, we kind of unlock it, so to prevent from people stealing. But every time you use your credit card at a restaurant, you run the risk of being hacked or somebody stealing that information. There's been cases where, there's been cases where the person working at the restaurant is scanning all this information so they can use it later on. Luckily, your credit card company will take care of it when you're a victim of credit card fraud, and then you're not responsible for it. But at the same time, it's a nuisance because now you have to ask, and then for you to get a new credit card, you have to wait for it. You have a lot of subscriptions like Netflix or Hulu that is associated with that credit card, and you have to change it. So, you know, to avoid that, just be mindful, dispute it whenever you have those charges on your credit card. You had a question.
So if they like already like hacked into your phone, could they hack into like all of your devices, like electric devices, or just that specific one?
That's a very good question. Yes, they can hack to everything else. How many of you have an Apple iMac? How many of you, they're connected to your iPad, your iWatch, and your phone? Guess what? This question is right on it. They can hack to all of it if they have access to one. You want this or you want this? Actually, that is a very good question. If they have access to one device, yes, they can hack to everything. My computer is actually directly linked to my phone, and so I get. How many of you have location tracking? You probably hate it, right? Because your parents know exactly where you are. My two daughters, I don't care if they're at a rave, at a strip club, at a dispensary, I don't care. But I tell them, when there is that emergency, I want to know where you are. I literally don't care where you are. But it actually happened to us. One time, my daughter went out drinking, and then it was 4 o'clock, and she did not check in. And then her friend called and said, we are in somebody's apartment, but we don't know where we are because we're too drunk. Okay. Actually, I got the location and then I tracked it and then I went. Luckily, nothing had happened, but they both were too drunk and it was another girl's apartment, and everything was okay. But I do kind of use it for safety reasons. So if you have that understanding with your parents, great. But my daughters, I did not want them to be sort of like hiding from me. So I told them, just do whatever you want. If you want to go at a party or a rave or whatever, I'm okay with that. You know, I used to do it too. So not raves. When we're growing up, I don't know how many of you my age, we did not have raves. The best thing we had was a party at a YMCA. Yes.
Is there any antivirus software you recommend? Like app?
McAfee? Yeah, I mean that's the most basic one. Nowadays, all the computer companies, all the computer companies have their own. Dell has their own, and you can do any of those. Me personally, I like Mac because they cannot really be as easily put viruses. I don't know exactly why, but their platform and the iOS they use, is a lot safer than PC based. PC, there is a lot of software for them to put viruses and then phishing and these other type of things. But Mac for me has kind of worked out better. That's why my house, everybody uses Mac. None of us use PC.
I just want to go back to passwords because so many people use the same password over and over.
Can you pass this to the gentleman all the way in the back? You want this?
Sure, thank you.
But if you want to, many people should use LastPass or 1Password, so you can just have one name, long, fancy password you remember, and then you can have it generate fancy passwords for each account you have.
At the same time, you have the one that fancy long password.
It makes you change it every once in a while.
Exactly. Always put a two-way authenticator, meaning the one that sends you an email, or you have to put a passcode or a number because it comes to your phone. You guys know that, right? You always have, whether it's your email or you do Google or something like that, it will send you a notification that you're trying to access this, so you put in a number code in order to open it. It is very, at the end of the day, if you're going to be a victim, you will be. That's why you just have to know that you don't put compromising things or anything like that for them to open.
So like for example, somebody steals your phone, how do they know your password?
They don't.
So like how do they hack it?
Apple is very difficult to do it, and Samsung actually is pretty good. But sometimes they're dumb people. They put 1, 2, 3, 4, and they will try. Or if they know your birthday, like for instance, I'm stupid enough that I created my email back in the days, and then I used my wedding anniversary as one of the numbers. And I've had it for so long, I don't change it. But if they know basic information like your birthday, your anniversary, your kid's birthday or something like that, some people will try. And there are softwares out there, very sophisticated software that if you put it, and we use it in the police department, where you kind of like hook it up, and then you'll spit out a password in about 2 weeks, no matter how complicated it is. So there are software like that that can be
So they
used.
generate the information from your life, just the different combinations to find the passwords.
I mean, you can use something simple or something complicated, but the rule of thumb is a number, a symbol, and capital letters not in the common places. Okay, so like for instance, you can use the $ instead of an S, okay, or you can use the number 2 as an S, so you do a combination.
See, I'm Polish, so I always use Polish words.
Yeah, of course,
So it's hard for
because they won't know. Yeah.
what I'm saying.
Thank you. This is a challenge coin from our organization, so you could have one.
Your what?
I was in Poland 2 years ago. Beautiful country. Back
Say
there.
they have all this information about you, like they know your wedding anniversary, your birthday, and that's how they find your password. But where do they find that in the first place?
Social media. They track you. So this is what they do. They go and then steal your mail from your house. Okay, so then pack. They already have my address. They already know that this is the credit card that I use because that's what I get. Now they go online and they're going to use Ben Pack. They're going to see, oh, this guy lives in Photo Ranch. Oh, his wedding anniversary was, this month. Oh, everybody's saying happy birthday, so it's on this day. Not that difficult to find. If you want to If I want to find out, I can go online and then, is the person behind your mom? No? Okay. Where's your dad or mom?
Not here.
No, your parents. No, not there. But if I go online and then I put her information, I'll know your address, I'll know her siblings, and this is all public information. Go try it. When you go home, put your name online, and you'll be like, oh my God. Your cell number, all that is available.
Do you think that Alexa is really actually listening to the conversation inside of the house and then the information?
My personal opinion, absolutely yes. My personal opinion. I'm not talking as an officer, but my personal
The
opinion.
reason why I'm saying that, like every time we have a conversation about something, let's say we're talking about Disneyland or Universal Studio. Next thing I know, I have all this commercial popping up on my phone about Universal Studios and Disneyland.
Same thing happens to us, to the point that we're like, how?
Exactly.
Yeah. Anytime you put in something on your web search, whether it is good things or bad things. Let's say I'm gonna go on a trip to Japan and I'm putting Tokyo Hotel, everything about Tokyo Hotel. There is a button that says incognito. Do you guys know about that? No? If you go here, this button, there is something called New Incognito Window. You press this, and then it goes to a website. You will not track your history. And when do I use that? Whenever I'm looking for travel information. Because when you go to Expedia or travel.com or all those places, and you put in where you want to go, you will track, and then next time you're looking, your airfare is actually higher. Okay. So you use the incognito in order for you to do your travel search. Then that way you will not go up. Okay. If you're looking at a website that you're not supposed to be looking, use that too. Yes.
How often do you recommend us changing the password?
That's a good question. I myself don't do it that often, unless my company, the company that like my bank actually makes me change it like every 120 days. And there are things that I've kept all this time, but I'm okay. Meaning,
so we don't really have to change.
No.
If I don't want to.
Yeah. If you're going to be a victim, you're going to be a victim no matter what. Okay. But tracking your credit report, making sure that you're checking your credit card, that weird things are not popping up, things like that are important. Oh yeah. Any other? Yes.
Basically, but what if they don't want to go to your house and they have like an electric device and they know your passcode and they just put your passcode on their electric device? Would that work?
That actually can happen, and it does happen, especially when you're in public places. Okay, they can actually, like on TV, they can get some of that information, but they need to be like super close. So if somebody is like walking next to you and you don't recognize these people, get away from them because they're scanning. Yeah.
I have a mom question. So my worst nightmare is for them to start chatting with somebody online, and then for them to become friends with a stranger that may, tell them, hey, I know you're mad at your parents. Come, live with me here.
Mm-hmm.
Can you talk a little bit about that? And usually, what are the usual outcomes of that?
Okay, that's actually a very good question. And once again, you parents may think, not my kid. You know, my kid is too smart for this and that. Believe it or not, that's what most parents think about their kids. How many of you parents think your kid is dumb? Not likely, right? True question. How many of you think your kid is smarter than average? Thank you for being honest. The reality of it is that a quarter of your kids are dumb, okay? 50% are normal, and 25% is probably smarter than normal. That's the reality of it, based on studies that have been done, okay? So my point of it is, you think that your kid is not going to be a victim of phishing, impersonating, Taylor Swift, who is a popular male sort of like figure? Drake. Drake or whatever. Drake is texting you because he found you online and happens that he wants you on the next video because he's looking for a 15-year-old Asian girl. Okay? So, yeah, some of you may go, ugh, but some of you may be like, yeah, you know, I always wanted to be an internet celebrity, and now Drake, and guess what? Drake is going to send you a photo of him posing, so this must be really Drake, right? Because he sent you a photo of him. Oh, this is me in Paris. You know, next time I go to Paris, you can come with me. I'll send you my private plane, and but you cannot tell your parents, but I'll be sending. And you're like, oh my God, I'm gonna go to Paris with Drake. Guess what? That's exactly how it happens. So you do have to have a communication with your kids, and then kind of let them know when it's too good to be true. Usually it is too good to be true. Some of you parents, when you're walking with your kids in the mall, have been approached by people saying, oh my God, your daughter is like the most beautiful. You know, we have an acting class here and there, and then we want you to join this acting class, and it is free, and yes, it does happen once in a blue moon, but if you think, you know what, I don't think my kid is like that good looking, chances are that it is not true. So you can do everything right and you can become a victim. You can do everything wrong and you'll never be a victim. But being aware of these things is important. Questioning all the time is important. Being aware of your surrounding is very important. Teaching your kids that there's that dangerous world out there is important. Once again, I look around and then I see that most parents are within sort of our own age. I came here when I was 13, so I know American culture better than most parents, but most Korean parents, including me, we shelter our kids. You know, 이거 몰라도 돼, you know, you don't have to know this. It's like, or we say, when you're adult, you learn about this, so you don't have to. When they use bad language, they're like, oh my God, you know, you're gonna burn in hell. Trust me, they're using it. I'm sorry to tell you, most of your kids are going to porn sites. Okay, whether you think that, yeah, because he prays every day and goes to church every week, it doesn't mean that they're not engaging on things like that. If you trust your kids and they're healthy kids, it is what it is. I used to buy Playboy magazine when I was like 13, 14, and then, but my parents always trusted me that I was smart enough not to be doing things beyond what normal kids do. So my point is, if they are healthy, they're doing what they're supposed to. If they're closing the door and then each time you open, they're getting mad at you and then throwing things at you, that's not normal. Okay? If they tell you, oh, you're invading my privacy. And I said, then get the hell out of here and then go have privacy somewhere else. Because as long as you live under my house, my rules, or start paying rent. I mean, yeah, you guys say, you guys may think it's like, that's not, no, you do have to. If they're closing the door and then when you go in, it smells fruity, okay? Or it smells skunky, that means they're smoking some good stuff or bad stuff, and you gotta know. If they have glassy eye, okay, that means that they're taking something they're not supposed to. If they're hanging out with kids that you don't think that they're the healthiest, do question it. It's like, hey, your friend seems to be stoned at all times. It's like, is that normal? And then if they say, oh, don't worry about it, you know, that's how it is, question it, okay? And for you guys, make good choices. Because of that friend who is always getting stoned, but you know that you're not, one day you're going to say, oh, fuck it, I'm just going to try it one time. And then that's how people get hooked. I deal with homeless people in my day job because I'm the homeless coordinator. I've encountered many, many young Asians who they're in their 20s and then they're hooked on drugs. And then whenever I ask them, you know, why you're here, meaning what can I do to help you? They'll say, yeah, I went to a party and then I tried meth one time and then I just couldn't kick. I couldn't kick it. Some of you will try, and if you try and then you say, ugh, I hated this, then good for you. But there is one of you in this room that's going to try and then they're going to say, oh my God, this is like the best thing I've ever tried. And then you're going to get hooked. And you may say, that will never happen to me. Once again, every time I go to a call or something, people say, I never thought this would happen to me. And then it does happen. So you do have to have reality checks. Okay? I just wanted to kind of like quickly show you, because I was going to take you to the our equipment room, but it is too many of us. So I just kind of wanted to show you some of the other things that we use. You know, ever seen like a 40 mil? These are rubber bullets, and these are bin bags. We carry these in order for us to neutralize situations without using deadly force. Because, and I wanted to show you this because a lot of you feel that the police is out there to kind of hurt people, but we are truly out there to protect and neutralize and try not to as much as possible. Okay? I also wanted to show you this because we do protect ourselves too. Okay? Whenever we go somewhere and then we go in front, we have one of these. So if anybody were to shoot at us, this one will stop bullet. Okay. We do have, so when it's dark, to kind of know. And this is a real shotgun, okay? This, I don't have any rounds right now, but we use this whenever we are engaged in like gun battle. We don't use it, you know. Police officers don't shoot to kill. Police officers shoot to neutralize the threat, okay? And it is because all of us want to go home at the end of the day. And that's the #1 purpose. Okay. If you ever hear this sound, run. Okay? And it's a distinct sound that most people will recognize. So if you hear that, run the other way. Okay, any other question? What we're going to do right now, I believe you guys ready to take a photo?
Yes, sir.
So I think we're going to go out that way, right? Outside or inside? Okay. So you help me to do this. Let's carry that back.
Which back?
Here, you could have one for helping me out.
Copies.
So help me, I'll be right back.